Hi guys, this is your host and host SUHAIL Mathur, best-selling author and co-founder of the Book Bakers Literary Agency, and I welcome you to a brand new episode of Superstars with SUHAIL. And the superstar over here today with us is none other than my good friend. He's a man who wears several hats, even though he's wearing none today. He's a major name in the pharmaceutical industry. He is a best-selling author for adult books, best-selling author for children's books, and a translator as well, apart from several other things which we will get to know in course of this lively conversation, where the questions will be sharp and the responses hopefully sharper. So Prasun, welcome to the show.
Thank you, SUHAIL, and I'm really glad that today morning we are doing this session. And I think this section should have been named, Superstar SUHAIL with his authors. So I personally think so because I have seen the book bakers grow in the last 7 years phenomenally, and it has been your contributions which made it possible. So you are really a superstar for all of us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words. So Prasun, this show of mine is something that you've probably never experienced before. And it has 13 segments, right? So the thing is that we need to do three things. One, we need to be frank. Two, we need to be fast. And three, we don't need to be shocked. Okay? So with that, hopefully you will have a great time and so will I. So let's move to our first segment, which is called Pehli Pehli Baar Hai. So now our first segment, Pehli Pehli Baar Hai, encapsulates the firsts from the lives of our authors. So I'll be asking you 5 things, which were your firsts, and you just give us the response plus a little background to it so that everyone gets a good idea about it. So here you go, Prasun. The first question out of your first ever crush.
It was in school, as usual, and I used to go to a very professional school at that time. So there was a crush that happened at that time, and
was it a student or was it a teacher?
Not a teacher. It was a fellow student. She was in my class only. I won't name her.
Which class were you in when the crush happened?
It was like 6, 7 maybe. Class 6 or class 7. But we are good friends now, everyone. So when
nice,
you think
nice.
of
Good to know that you guys are still in touch. So that's very interesting. But did you ever voice your feelings to her?
No, I didn't. I was too scared to do that.
Fair enough. But does she know now that she was your first crush, or she doesn't know that?
She doesn't know that. But that's fine. It's all right.
That's fine. So all girls who were part of Prasun's school and get the opportunity to watch this video, think that you could possibly have been, the girl Prasun is talking about right now. So that's wonderful, Prasun. The next question is your first salary and how did you spend it?
My first salary was when I joined Cognizant in the year 2004. And it was funny, the first salary would be credited to our bank accounts, and we were doing trainings at that time. So सबके SMS आ रहे हैं, मैं बैठा हूँ, मेरा कोई SMS नहीं आया अभी तक. So I was literally sweating कि कुछ problem तो नहीं किया मैंने. Then finally it arrived and I was super happy. So then
But what was your first salary and how did you spend it?
The amount you're saying?
Yeah.
So it was. I still remember. It was 13,991. That was the first salary.
2004. So that's, I think, a decent salary back then. Yeah.
Yes, I was a trainee engineer at that time. So that was my first salary. I spent it with my parents. So I bought a T-shirt for my father.
Oh, nice.
And it for my mom. So that was the thing.
Lovely. I think these are such wonderful memories, and I'm so happy that we are rekindling them over here through the chat show. So the next question, your first vehicle. Now I know you have a penchant of buying all the biggest of cars, and we keep on seeing that, on your Facebook. But which was your first vehicle?
Okay, the first vehicle which I bought was a Wagoner. So,
Okay,
you
nice.
know, at that time I
When
was,
was it roughly?
it was like early in 2003 before I joined Cognizant. I was working as a freelancer. I was doing content writing and technical work over the internet. So I collected a
Nice,
decent
nice.
amount of money
So
at
the
that time.
writing bug has been there since a long time, we see. Great.
Yeah.
Your first literary memory, the first book or the first introduction to something in literature that you still vividly remember.
Okay, so I used to write short stories right from school, like when the ICSE examinations were happening. So I used to always select the short story writing part of it. So after that, I had written quite a few short stories, and one of the short stories, which was called The Coffee House, I had posted it online somewhere, and then Miss Satya Sadan, who was the then editor of the DNA magazine, she emailed me. I didn't know who she was at that time, and then she said that we want to publish this story in our magazine. So that was the first time when a story of mine got published in a magazine. They sent me a copy of that magazine as well, and they gave me a check also of a small amount as a token. So
This
that
brings
was
back
really
such fond
nice.
memories. This brings back such fond memories. I remember. It's not my earliest literary memory, but it's one of the earliest and very special. It just shows you how parents go out of the way. So I used to read a lot of Amar Chitra Kathas. I think everyone who knows me knows that. So I'd gone to my club, the Noida Golf Club, and I was reading an Amar Chitra Katha. So what they used to do was that they used to create a compilation of several Amar Chitra Kathas and bind them together. So you had some 14, 15 Amar Chitra Kathas together that you could read. So each of these Amar Chitra Kathas also had contests over there. So there was a match the following over there where you had to match. There were 4 characters on one side and 4 on another, and you had to crisscross and see which character merged with which one, right? And I of course knew all the answers because I used to read so many of these stories, and I wanted to take part in it. And I was probably reading that in 93, 94, 95. I think 95. I was reading in 95. The last date for that competition was somewhere in October 1984. Okay. and of course, as a kid, you don't know. So, I took it to my parents and I said, look, this is the answer. I know it, and this and that. And they said that 1984, we'd not even met. This is so long back. How will you participate? I said, no, you must participate. And then I must participate. And then eventually what happened was that a few days later, a check came. Sorry, not a check, an envelope came. And in that envelope was a princely sum for someone in the first standard. They were 10 rupees, okay, which was quite a princely sum for someone in the first in 1995. From Amar Chitra Katha, saying that I had given all the right answers, and that was the amount that I received. Though, I was just recently thinking about it. There was no possible way Amar Chitra Katha guys would have even responded to it, because the competition that had ended some 10 years ago. So obviously it would have been my parents. They've still not disclosed that to me. And we were the ones who paid. But now I know. So, I just thought I must take that because you mentioned about how these first help and a check coming in and some cash coming in is also a great motivator.
The priceless memories which remain with you forever. Like, the amount doesn't matter.
They are priceless, but they do involve some price. So, so wonderful. So now, the first memory with respect to how did the idea of your first book with the book bakers germinate? So please tell them what the title of the book is and how did that idea germinate?
Okay, so the first book is definitely Ringo and the Yogi, and at that time I was thinking of writing something longer, not a short story. So I was working in my office, and at that time the Uttarakhand floods were happening, 2013 and of that time. So I took that context and I was always thinking what to write. So the first idea which struck me, because I used to read, like you said, used to read Amar Chitrakatha a lot. I used to read, Satyajit Roy's stories a lot in Bengali. So they were like the Feluda stories and all. They were all focused towards the young adults.
Yeah.
So I thought that let me write something for kids or young adults. And then I took the idea of a little boy who would be going on an excursion to the hills. And that time this cloudburst would happen and how he would showcase his bravery. So that was the idea which came.
It's wonderful, and I think the love and reception that the book has received is a great testament to the idea that came about, and wonderful. So I think with that, very quickly we have and very rapidly we have finished the first round, which brings us to our second segment, which is called the Rocking Rapid Fire. So what you need to do is you need to be honest and you need to be fast, right? So let's begin our second segment, which is called the Rocking Rapid Fire. A movie you saw on the sly from your parents.
Terminator. It was very early, so that time. Yeah.
Perfect. An Indian female author or someone from the literary fraternity you find pretty. Come on, it's not that hard. There are a lot of pretty ladies in the literary industry. Don't be shy.
No, not feeling shy, but let's go to the next one.
No, you have to answer. You can't let it go.
Not the popular ones. I just can't recall anyone. But yeah, from the TBB group of authors, I think one of our authors, Rashima, she is very pretty. Yeah.
Wonderful. I think Rashima will be very happy to hear that. That's good. So, commercial success or critical acclaim? What matters more?
Critical acclaim.
All right, that's nice. Book launches or literary festivals?
Literary festivals.
Interesting. So, who's hotter, a girl in a sari or a girl in a bikini?
Girl in a sari.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. Okay, fair enough. There must be some mechanism to find out what you really think. Okay, an Indian actor you would like to date? If you were single, of course. An Indian actor you would like to date?
Let's see. If I was a bit older, then Juhi Chawla definitely.
Juhi Chawla. All right, perfect. Now you could be younger and she could be older. That's all right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect. Naughty or nice?
Naughty.
What defines you? Naughty.
What defines me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Movies or web series? What do you prefer watching?
Movies.
Great. An Indian book you wish you had written?
Haroon and the Sea of Stories by Salman Rushdie.
Oh, nice. That's good. Mind, body or soul? The aspect that impresses you the most?
The soul, definitely.
Soul. Perfect. And see, just like that, you finished a very good Rocking Rapid Fire. Well done, Prasun. There were some tricky questions, but I'm glad that you eventually, were able to respond. And with that, we come to our third segment, which is called Pucho To Jaane. Now, our third segment is called Pucho To Jaane, where an author from the Book Bakers group has asked you a question. All right. Now, not only do you have to answer that question, after answering, you have to tell us who has asked you that question. So I'll be giving you options, and this round has a Three Idiots connotation to it. So if you are able to answer in the first guess, you are like Rancho, the brilliant kid in the class. If you answer in the second guess, you are like Farhan, who's not bad but fine. And if you answer last, then you're like Raju, who's not that great. All right. So let's see who has asked you the question and what that question is. So your question, Prasun, which has been asked by a TBB author, is this: Do you think authors in India have egos? And can you give any instance where you saw an author's ego? You need not name the author, but if you can give some sort of an example where you saw an author depict some sort of ego.
This is a question which somebody is asking me.
Like, yes. So first you have to answer it, and then I'll give you options with respect to who's asked. So first answer: do you think Indian authors have egos? And if you can give an example that you may have come across.
I think the more successful authors whom we see, the star authors, some of them might have egos. I have personally not experienced face to face, but I think some of them might be having.
Some of them might be having. Fair enough. And I do tend to agree with you over there. Minuscule percentage, but still a percentage over there. All right. So now the question is, who asked you this question? So you have three options. Option number 1 is Anirban Bhattacharya. Number 2 is Ashisha Chakrabarti. And number 3 is Nilotpal Gohain. Which of these three asked you this question? So you have, of course, chances. What's your first answer? Quickly. We're running out. Anirban. Which is wrong. So now you have two options left. You have Ashisha and Nilotpal. Will you be Farhan? Will you be Raju?
Ashisha.
And that is absolutely the right answer. So good job, Prasun, over there. Ashisha did ask that question. So you are Madhavan from Three Idiots. Good work. And wonderful. So now that brings us to another very interesting segment, which is called segment 4, the best and the worst. So in segment 4, we'll ask you certain questions where you have to very quickly tell your favorites and your worsts. All right. So without further ado, let's start. Your favorite dish?
Chicken curry.
The yuckiest dish you've ever had? Quickly.
Urad dal. The urad dal make at home.
Okay. Your favorite film?
Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge.
Okay. The worst movie you've ever seen?
Tumbar.
All right. I think Abhiroop and the others wouldn't be too happy to hear that. But fair enough. Your favorite actor?
Indian actor Shah Rukh Khan.
The best film and the worst film of your favorite actor?
The best film, Swadesh, I would say. And the worst is that movie, Oh Darling, Ye Hai India. That movie he did quite a few years back.
One?
Oh Darling, Ye Hai India. There was this movie that he did.
Earlier movie. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Best thing about your spouse?
Always being supportive.
All right. A thing you want to improve in your spouse?
Time management in the other way, like always putting me, you have to be right on time. So that thing, to be a bit complacent about the time management.
Super. Your least favorite actor?
Least favorite actor? Bobby Deol.
The worst movie of your least favorite actor?
Okay. His first movie, I don't remember the name. The first movie he did with Twinkle Khanna.
That was Barsat.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. So, another round done. Prasun, you're making some good progress, which makes us reach now a very interesting segment, which is called segment 5, Dimag Ka Dahi. So, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen, presenting segment 5, which is Dimag Ka Dahi, where I'd be asking a brain teaser and you have to try to respond to it. Ideally, the plan is to ask one, and if I'm in the mood, I may just ask two. But let's see. So, Prasun, your brain teaser in Dimag Ka Dahi is Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has a small one. Madonna doesn't have one. And the Pope doesn't need one. What? Arnold Schwarzenegger has a long one. Michael J. Fox has a small one. Madonna doesn't have one. And the Pope doesn't need one. What?
I would say a gun, but the literally sense of it.
So, do you have an answer? In case you don't, you could always say pass. That's all right.
Pass. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, the answer is a surname.
Okay.
Yes. I wonder what you were thinking though. But nonetheless, the answer is surname. And since we are running a little short of time, I'll keep it to one question right now. And you should be thankful to me for that.
Yeah.
But we'll move to the next segment, which is equally interesting. Segment 6, which is Never Have I Ever. So, ladies and gentlemen, section 6, segment 6, Never Have I Ever is a very self-explanatory term. And what we basically need Prasun to do is just see on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the percentage that Prasun garners. So, Prasun, we'll start off. You have to keep your fingers like these, and with everything that you have done, you just close them. And then we see what percentage comes. All right. So, never have I ever stolen in a shop.
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't
Never
hear it.
have I ever stolen in a shop.
Okay.
Do this. If you have,
So-
then you have to put one finger down.
Okay,
Open all your fingers.
okay.
If you have, then so you haven't.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Beaten someone from the opposite gender.
So if I put one finger down, that means
That means you have. So it's okay. You can put a finger down. Okay.
yes.
Kissed someone from the same gender.
Uh,
Okay. Made an excuse to not pay the restaurant bill. Fantastic. Stalked the profile of an ex. अरे तो चार कर दिए, 4 fingers have to be down now. You can't keep
Oh,
one
अच्छा.
finger. Yeah, you have to keep 4 down.
okay.
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 Got drunk at a party. I'm enjoying this. Had naughty thoughts about an office colleague ever. Okay,
Finger
no
top.
naughty thoughts. Yeah, how's that? Okay. Kissed in public. No. Okay. Used a pickup line to impress someone. And the last one is lied about your actual location to someone. Fair enough. So that is your never have I ever. Well, a good healthy score of 7 on 10. Prasun, you've done some really interesting things, and great. It is nice to see the frankness over there. Which now takes me to segment 7, which is called Main Hoon Kaun. So, ladies and gentlemen, segment 7 is Main Hoon Kaun. In this, Prasun, I would be asking you to guess the personality. I'll be giving you 3 options. If you are able to answer in the first clue rather than options, if you're able to answer in the first clue, you get a special lifeline, if I may call that, right? Even if you are able to answer in the second, and I'm in a generous mood, I may just offer you a lifeline for one of the later segments. All right. But if you attempt and you answer wrong in either the first or the second option, in the third you can obviously try. But if you answer incorrectly on the first, on the second, then there will be a penalty as well. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, Prasun, the personality coming your way. The first clue. While my surname is very famous, few know that our family surname was actually Kushari. While my surname is famous, few know that our family surname was actually Kushari. No. Okay. You just tell me the next option, I'll give it to you. At the age of 16, I took the pseudonym Bhanu Simhan as a poet.
Rabindranath Tagore.
That is the right answer. Well done, Prasun. So obviously I asked you a question because you are doing a book on Rabindranath Tagore, and I thought it would be only fair. So now you have some extra trivia about it, which is good, you know. And you've given a right answer in the second attempt. So great. You are, or you might be eligible for a lifeline that comes your way. And just like that, segment 7 is over too. And now we move to segment 8, which is Picture Abhi Baki Hai Mere Dost.
Okay.
So now we know that you are writing a book on Rabindranath Tagore, right? If given an option, who would you cast as Tagore and who would you cast as his wife? Quick response. Very quick.
As Tagore, Kunal Kapoor has a piece which matches with Tagore's early.
Kunal Kapoor and the lady?
The lady, I would say, as his wife,
Quick. Running out of time.
Vidya Balan.
Sorry?
Vidya Balan.
Okay. But that is, of course, your choice. We, of course, have a game to decide what your cast would be. So these are these two bowls that I have. One has names of actors and the other of actresses. So I will be, swirling this around, and you have to tell me when to stop. And then I take out 3 chits. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And you tell me which chit number would you want. And whatever name comes over there becomes your lead character. Okay? So I'm swirling. Let me know when you'd want me to stop.
Okay, stop.
Okay. So I'll pick up 1 chit. That's chit number 1. Okay, that's 1. I'm keeping here. Okay, chit number 2 and chit number 3. So 1, 2, 3. Which chit would you want me to keep?
3.
3. All right. So we keep 3 and we put the other 2 back. We'll disclose it at the end. Even I have to see who it is. And this is for the wife. Let me know.
Okay, stop.
Okay. So now 3 chits. 1, 2, and 3. So out of 1, 2, 3, which one?
2.
2. Okay, so 1 goes in and 3 goes in. So now let's see what your cast is going to be. Okay. And okay. Quite good actually. So Rabindranath Tagore's role is going to be played by my favorite. You can't maybe see it over there because of the light, but it is Abhishek Bachchan. So Abhishek Bachchan plays Rabindranath Tagore and his wife's role is played by Deepika Padukone. So Abhishek Bachchan and Deepika Padukone, they've done a movie set, in Bengal, which was the Chittagong Armory raid. Kele hum ji jaan se, apart from Happy New Year. But great, so good cast has come over there.
Abhishek would fit in well in the character of Tagore.
Yeah.
But Deepika might not, fit in the looks in that way.
No worries, no
But
worries. So, Prasun, we have 7 minutes and we need to wrap this very quickly. My next
Yeah.
question is segment 10. What next? So, Prasun, please tell us very quickly what is the immediate next book that you're working on?
I'm working on a translation book of Bengali horror stories.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. And I, of course, know about it. So, I already had an inkling. But yes, it's something that you will definitely enjoy as readers. Quick, fast, moving to segment 11 now, which is joke time. So,
Okay.
segment 11 is joke time. Prasoon, very simple, very quickly. Please tell everyone your favorite joke
My favorite joke.
or any joke.
Okay.
It need not be a favorite, but if you think it's funny,
Uh, I'm not able to recall right now.
something,
Let's move on to the next article.
something, a funny, okay, a quick funny incident then. But you have to be really quick.
Okay.
Either a joke or an incident, funny incident, hilarious incident. Come on, you have 3 seconds before you begin. Your time starts now.
Okay. So I was taking my son to school when he was about 6 years old. So it's a funny incident I just remembered. So there was one of his friends. He was coming with his mother, and the lady said good morning to me. So I responded good morning while we were walking down to drop the kids. And my son just looked at me and said, Dad, did you just say I love you? I said, what are you saying? And the lady was looking at me with her eyes large. I said, stop talking nonsense and get into school. So
Well, that is hilarious, and no wonder he plays a sport called tennis where there is a term called love all. So you know,
yeah.
it's great. So that was a really funny incident, and thank you for sharing that. And we move to a penultimate segment, which is called segment 12, Zaban Samhal Ke. So, ladies and gentlemen, segment 12, Zaban Samhal Ke, is essentially where I'd be asking my guest a tongue twister, and you have to say the tongue twister 10 times. Now, I have 6 tongue twisters written with me from 1 to 6, and I'll be honest with you, whatever is the number you get. Which number tongue twister would you want to take? So now I know you're from Bengal, so what I want to ask you is that you want something in Hindi or do you want something which is more English sounding? They're all desi, but one has English sounding. So I said you will get a lifeline, so that's the lifeline I'm offering you. Or
Either of it. Either of it. I'm okay with both.
You're fine? Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 6 options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one would you like to take?
6.
Okay. So your tongue twister is, so you know rules. Rules in Hindi is called niyam, right? Niyam, rules. Le niyam, de niyam. De niyam, le niyam. As simple as that. Le niyam, de niyam, le niyam. 10 times. Le niyam, de niyam,
First
de
it's
niyam, le niyam.
lenium, denium, lenium, lenium, denium, denium, lenium, lenium, denium, denium, lenium, lenium, denium, denium,
Lelium,
lenium, 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 denium, lenium, lenium, denium.
Lelium. What is lelium? There is nothing but lelium.
Lenium, denium, denium, lenium.
Okay, fair enough. But an earnest try, which is what we appreciate, and I think that's the spirit. And you've displayed some great spirit, during this entire conversation, which has made it very memorable. So as we move to the last segment is a fun one called TBB Shoutout. So Prasun, in a minute, please tell how was your experience working with the bookmakers and how was your experience being on this very show?
It working with book bakers, I would say my entire literary journey has been shaped by the book bakers, and of course with your guidance. So whatever I have done so far is because of the book bakers, and I believe in relationships, and book bakers is family for me. So that's the most I can say about TBB. It will always be a family to me. And this show was excellent. I really had a great fun with all those twists and turns and puns. But
I told you it's
it's
going to be
real fun.
like anything, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it too. I think the success of every interview also depends on how motivated the guest is, and you were very interesting today. So thank you so much for your time, Prasun. It's been fabulous, and until next time and the next guest, here's Suhail Mathur signing off. Cheers and take care.
Thank you. Bye.